You are right now, are you not? And take a moment to really answer this question. Are you right now? And you will notice that if you want to answer this query sincerely, you will have to go beyond the mind. You will have to check with your direct experience if you actually are. And let's just do it one more time, just to be sure. Are you? Am I? The mind goes looking, searching, am I? And then you will notice that you have to go beyond the mind to actually notice, like, hey, yes, I am, I exist. And today I want to stay present with the facts, the things we know for sure, which is not a whole lot. And this is really what I want you to get from this video, is to be able to touch base with something that is actually true. It's always the case, something actually real. The fact that you are is real. You could say all else is added onto that, is mere assumption. And based on that assumption, that will generate your reality, that will give you your experience. But when we look at the facts, or the fact is that you are, that you exist. And I want you to recognize this directly, because thinking I exist, I am, doesn't really get you anywhere. But recognizing it gives you greater access to the freedom that is innate within existence. This existence is free. And this existence is one, or a whole. It is an all-inclusivity. There is nothing outside of this existence. Because even by definition, there is no such thing as non-existence. And you might wonder, like, what is really the added benefit of recognizing that I exist, or that I am, which is the self-realization practice within IMX? Well, it gives you access to something that is true, with a capital T, something that is real. And this is, at least in this world, it seems like such a rare commodity. Like, how often do you have something that you can be sure of 100%? Pretty much almost everything in this world is just based on assumption, on experience. And based on what you believe, that will be your experience. And this might inspire you actually to look for something that is actually true. Something that is not just a belief, something that is not just a story, something that is not just an experience, that is not just a description, something real, something true. And this will require you to turn from these forms, these shapes, these experiences, and return back to what is actually real. And we can use words to point to this realness, to this I amness, but eventually it is beyond the words. It is, as Rumi said, the language of God is silence. All else is bad translation. I think he used a more adequate or beautiful word for it. But still, we translate and we point and we inspire you to turn your attention back on itself, for you to recognize yourself. Because in the beginning it's so subtle, it's like, in a sense, like the sky or like the space. You cannot really grasp it. It's not an experience, and our mind is obsessed with form, with shape, with size, and everything in this world in this society or in this culture is pretty much geared towards keeping you entertained and obsessed with forms, and yeah, just to in a sense not care about spirit, the true formless spirit or beingness that requires you in a sense to die to yourself. It requires you to surrender your mind, to surrender your identity back into that which actually is. Because that which is, and that which is not, is not. It seems all so simple, but that's exactly why the mind gets its panties in a twist. But the beauty about this is that we can use the mind to go beyond the mind. We can use the mind to become transparent, to become a mirror for this greater truth by asking the right questions. By asking these questions such as, what is me? Without conjuring up an experience or a concept or a thought, do you directly know me? What is me? What is I? And you will notice that it seems to get real tricky when you cannot use concept, past, future. Like who are you without all of that? Without your name tag, without your job, without your body, without all of these things. Who are you really? And do you know this truly and deeply? What is me? What is I? What is self? And if you don't know this, maybe ask yourself the question, why haven't I been inspired enough to figure this out? To, in a sense, discover or seek the true me, because we constantly throughout the day keep referring to this I, me, self. But if we are really honest with ourselves, we have to admit that we have no clue what this me or I truly is. We might refer to me, I, but that is just a concept of self. It's an assumption. It's not a direct experience. It's not a direct recognition of what you truly are. You're just playing around with forms and shapes, and they come and go. Yet we are looking for something that remains, that is always there, that is always true. Because why not? Why not recognize that which is true, and then from that knowing, from being connected to truth, from there live your life. So your life can be an extension of what is actually true. There's so much more to dive into and to bring in different angles on this topic, but I do believe it helps to recognize that it is a practice, and what you want is the direct recognition of yourself. And this can happen by using the mind to go beyond the mind, by asking the right questions. Am I aware? What is true? What is real? What am I? What is self? And just take whichever pointer works for you to evoke that direct recognition of your own existence, of your own being. And through that recognition, it's like, it functions almost like a dimmer switch. So you keep recognizing the same light or awareness or existence. And by keep recognizing it, that light becomes brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter, until that bright is so light that even in your everyday experience, it's just always obvious. It's just obvious that you are, and that this beingness, this are-ness, this isness Everything is birthed from this. It is one. It is whole. And therefore you're never missing anything, because everything is always here. The entirety of existence is always here. Now, it may not all be manifested at once. I don't think we would want that. So we get to experience a particular slide, particular experience, a particular X, a configuration of energy, if you will, of this infinite creation. But infinite creation is here, right now, right here, and you can recognize it very easily if you would just let go of all of your ideas and would seek for something true, something that doesn't come, that doesn't go. And you're totally free, my friend. You have free will. You're free to wander in shape and shadow, in form and duality. But just know that this beingness, this awareness is always there. When you want to return back to the oneness, back to the truth, back to reality, it's always there. It just requires your own desire, your own free will, your own purity of intent, and your faith that that is possible for you, that you can recognize your true self, even if it seems impossible to the mind, which it is. You do have to go beyond the mind, but the beauty is we can use the mind as a mirror to ask the right questions and to reflect back on what am I actually, what is real, what is true, eternally so. Feel free to book a one-on-one with me if you don't get it, or you would like a little bit more pointers. Even if you already had a one-on-one, feel free to just book it. If you have like a clear intention or something you're really curious about, I'm willing to help. It's my mission to make this art of staying true, both to the truth on a relative level, what you came here to express, in a sense, the picture or the dream you came here to manifest and to crystallize, as well as recognizing what is eternally true. My intention is to make that as easy, as accessible for every soul here on earth, so that awakening becomes easier, just one click away for enlightenment. So feel free to book a one-on-one with me. Also, if you have any other questions, feel free to drop them down in the comments below. Any feedback, any insights for someone else or for me is always welcome as well. And yeah, don't forget to check what is real, what is true, if you actually are, and then recognize that directly. You will find that everything you're seeking for is contained within the truth, because the truth is, it's all, it's everything, and it will set you free. Take care, my friend. Have fun, meditate, and play.